Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is Breakdown, Breakthrough. I am doing a series of daily morning musings, and I am reading articles from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. I wrote these articles a while back, and the world has changed a lot since then. I'm going to read the article, and if anything stands out that needs some updating, I'm going to interrupt myself and give you the most recent information. And then at the end, I'm going to do a summary and related to what's going on in the world today. Break down, break through. Ever had periods of time where it seemed like everything converged at once? I mean, all your core issues or things that you were working on, life lessons, all came up at the same time. As we expand, we encounter these challenging periods. I used to think of it like final exams, as if the universe was saying, did you really learn everything over the past few months or year? However, I no longer think of life as a school. I no longer think that there are specific lessons we must learn. I'm having a different experience of life nowadays. I'm seeing it in another way. I've known for most of my life that everything is energy. However, nowadays, quantum physicists are calling it the morphic field. It's really a symphony of energy, with the deeper tones vibrating with such density that you can perceive them in physical form. Higher notes are perceived as light, but higher still, beyond the range of human hearing, it's what we term spirit. There are medium notes, which is emotional energy, and also aspects that we define as personality. Each of us is experiencing our personal symphony, emitting notes and attracting tones, and we perceive in terms of having a physical form, moving through patterns of reality we identify as our daily life and interactions with other people. In actuality, we're all of it. Beyond our persona, we are the orchestra, the music playing, the conductor, and the composer. All the other people are reflections of oneself. They're all energy patterns, too. That can be somewhat mind-blowing to comprehend. So let's go back to our tiny instrument and our little portion of the tune. From a law of attraction standpoint, we attract what comes to us by the thoughts we put out. The focus then goes to what tones we're emitting, and then focusing on setting out only specific ones or thoughts in order to manifest, attract what we desire. However, we encounter all those other melodies that have been going on in our section of the orchestra. Do we just ignore them and focus on our song? That's one way of doing it. Convergence happens when these other vibrational patterns collide with the new song that we're singing. Resisting them solidifies them and makes them denser. The first step is to remember that it's all just energy. It's not reality. It's just perception. The second step is to de-energize the emotion because that's the glue that holds the illusion together. One way is to intensify the feelings, to step into them and then affirm the truth, which is that this is an illusion created by consciousness to convince ourselves that we're the opposite of who we are, to claim that we are actually infinite, abundant, a powerful presence, and we reclaim our power from the illusion right here, right now. And then you can take a moment and appreciate the illusion and yourself for being so powerful to create it. Another technique from my early mystery school training is to release the energy from the illusion, either by imagining it as deleted or imagine it as a series of photographs or film negatives. You can clip the corner and drain the emotions out of it and then delete them. Nowadays, I like to highlight and delete it, or zap it with a phaser, or just have them disappear. Either way, you're clearing your personal hologram, you're part of the morphic field. Viewing it this way depersonalizes things that happen to you. It takes the drama out of events. It neutralizes reactions to other personalities. What's fun is when you start breaking through your illusion, things start changing in amazing ways. The other day, I went to the post office and both clerks had closed signs in front of them. I had a bit of an interaction with one of them, and then I left as I was late for a meeting. Time is an illusion too, but that's a topic for another article. My old thinking decided that I'd just get stamps from the grocery store later and guess how many to put on the envelope so I could avoid dealing with the postal clerks. But I forgot to buy stamps with my groceries and found myself back at the post office, standing in line behind the mother of an ex-girlfriend of one of my sons. And my old thinking was wanting to pretend that I didn't recognize her or know who she was, which is pretty ridiculous for a small town. But instead, I found myself chatting with her about how her daughter was doing. Poof, something de-energized, and I didn't even know it. Then I took my envelope to the one postal clerk I'd had an uncomfortable interaction with in the past, and I assumed there'd be some residue from that earlier in the day. Instead, it was a very pleasant transaction. She actually used the term appreciation in our conversation, which I like to think is validation from the field that this is truly an illusion. Living this way, you find people change from scene to scene. They move in and out of your hologram and sometimes morph into totally different personalities while retaining the same physical form. Circumstances change as well. so that things you might have predicted to be unpleasant turn out to be fine, and opportunities arise from nowhere, actually from another vibratory level in the morphic field. There isn't the same sense of cause and effect as in the old way of doing things. It's sometimes uncomfortably random. It's like going off the written music and improvising instead. There's a reason why you're reading this, whether you consciously know it or not. You can act on this information using techniques that I've suggested, or sit with it. Either way, your hologram is changing and transformation is inevitable. So in my early training, I learned about something that we termed growth periods, which is when you as consciousness are expanding and your body personality is racing to catch up. And then when I went through coach training 20 plus years ago, it was described as a breakdown, breakthrough. And the way I see that is all our pictures in limiting conceptions of reality start to disintegrate as we expand. And actually, a lot of what I said to you really speaks to what's going on in the present moment. Just look at the news, just look at the things that people are doing or saying. It's completely bonkers. And you kind of wonder what those cosmic scriptwriters are smoking. So we are all expanding, we all going through our breakdown, breakthroughs, or growth experiences. When you can shift your perspective to that as consciousness, it makes it just so much easier to navigate. So if you're having experiences like this, please leave a comment below. I love reading your comments. And if you want help with having an expanded experience, I have a free sample for you. It's called the Skybox technique. So click on that below to get that. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I offer individual sessions where I can take a look at the essence of who you are and what's going on in your life today. And I can answer any questions that you might have and even help you with some energetic transitions. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, go to my website, joan-newcomb.com. And I have a coaching special that is tailor-made just for you. I work with you one-on-one, and I give you specific consciousness techniques to help transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.